Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at how to reduce an array. Let me tell you what I mean. Now, what I want to do is our goal is so we can add all of these values in this array together and get one big value. I'll give you it right now. It's 7. 1 plus 3 is 4. 3 plus 4 is 6. And 4 and 6 plus 1 is 7. That's the answer. Now let's begin. How can we do this in code? Now the first way is I'm going to create a blank variable and make it equal to 0. And then I'm going to create a for each method and then we're going to create value of r, and you guys all know what the for each method does. Now we're going to put this in a body, and over here we're just going to say a plus equals to v, which is basically a fancy way of saying a equals to a plus v. Now we're going to save this, and if we console this dot log this console dot log, or we print this out on the screen, we're gonna get hopefully the value 7. There we go. Now let's comment that out, and let's look at a more clean and professional way of writing this. We're going to be using the reduce method. Now we're going to do r.reduce, and in the arguments it needs a function. Now this function is going to have two variables. First one's going to be called the accumulator. I'll call it ACC for short, ACC. And the second one is going to be called the current value. I'm just going to call it current. Now let's put this in a fat arrow function in a body like so. Now first thing you need to know, accumulator is basically like a blank variable that keeps its value each time this reduce method loops in this array. It's pretty much like this let a we've defined over here in our first example. Now current value, you guys might all guess, it's the current value for every time this reduce method loops in this array. So over here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do ACC plus current. Now we're gonna have to return this because since it's a function, return ACC plus current. And finally, we're gonna capture this in a variable. We're gonna call it sum. The sum of all of these is equal to that. Now we're gonna console.log the sum, console.log the sum. And if we save it, as you can see, we get 7. Now, something you need to know is you can give a base value for the accumulator, such as putting a comma, and maybe saying 10. If I put 10 as the base value in the beginning before anything starts, accumulator will have a value of 10. Now, as you can see, when I save it, it gives you 17. And if you just keep it blank like this and save it, it's gonna stick to 0. Accumulator is gonna start with 0. Finally, once we're done all of that, we're gonna make this code a bit shorter. So since we have one line, we're gonna remove the body, like so. And once again, since we have one line and no body, we don't need the return. And we can save it. And as you can see, this one line of code will translate to these 5 lines of code right there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and see you next time.